This is Cheyenne Valentine back today again, the new episode. In today's episode, I want to ask, why do people have to be so rude when you are a new employee and they are training you? Again, why do coworkers have to be so rude when you are a new employee and they are training you? I know you all have been through this, okay? Where you are new and your trainer, it's just rude to you, just nasty. And I think it's because they don't want to train, because maybe that job has a revolving door and they're annoyed, and a lot of times they have to get their work done in addition to training you and training you correctly. And if they don't train you correctly, it could come back on them. And then a lot of times management want them to get their work done in addition to training you, and so they're stressed out. But that doesn't give them that doesn't give them the right to be rude to you and be condescending and nasty. So you might say, why am I bringing this up? So I just made a video talking about rude cashiers and customer service. So at that same grocery store, I was there at let me see, this was maybe about this was about a month ago. So I walked up to a cashier, got in line, and I noticed that so this is how it was. It was two black women. One was a younger black woman, she was the cashier, and it was an older black woman, she was the bagger. And I noticed that the younger woman was asking the older woman a lot of questions. So I figured, she's training, she's new. Okay, so this is gonna take a little bit longer. So I had patience. So when it was my time for her to ring me up, I noticed how the bagger, the older black lady, was acting towards her. So some of the things she would do. She would ask the older woman a question, but the older woman would not walk over to her. So I'll say her trainer. When she would ask the trainer questions, the woman would not walk over and so she could show her what her issue was. She would just ask her, and then the woman wouldn't say nothing. She just kind of leave it up to her to figure it out. So very rude, very nasty. So when it was my turn, I had some fruit, and so with some of the fruit, let's say oranges, they have the code on it. And so the young lady, she would use a piece of paper. So sometimes the cashiers have the piece of paper with the codes on it for the vegetables and fruits. So she took the piece of paper and she was looking for the code. I said, no, you can just I said, the code is on the fruit, let me show you. She said, okay, thank you. So then the older lady, the trainer, says, yeah, you need to make sure you look at the fruit or the vegetables first before you ring anything up, because sometimes you can find the code on there instead of looking on the paper. So I just looked at her. So the young lady asked her a question. She said, should I press 1 or 0? And the older woman just standing there, did not walk over and help her or anything, like she was annoyed. She's supposed to be training her. So the young lady said, look, she kept asking her, and then I know she said, you press 1. The older lady said to her, you press 1, in a nasty tone. So she kept, ringing me up, and so she came to another issue that she didn't know the answer to, and she said, do I press 0 or 2? Because I'm confused. She said, and so the older woman finally walks around to her, and the young lady says, I'm just assuming I press 2. And this is what the older woman says, her trainer. She says, I don't need you assuming anything. Y'all, that's what she said to her. She said, I don't need you assuming anything. Wow. And y'all, I don't like that kind of stuff, because I've been through that situation where I've been fronted off, and I'm gonna give you all a situation that happened to me at a job. I've had situations where the trainer was rude to me for no reason. If you have a customer service job where it's people around, they would front you off in front of those people. Another thing they would do, if you work around a lot of coworkers, like at a cubicle at an office, they will talk loud when they're saying things to you so everyone can hear it and front you off. See, some people, I have to control myself from trying to put my hands on them, because then I'm gonna go to jail. And you can't just go around being violent. But some people really want you to get in a gutter with them, and I don't mind getting a gutter with them. So she said that to her, and so I looked at the young lady when the older woman walked back to her bagging area, and I said, you're doing really good. I said, hang in there. I said, you're doing great. And the older woman did not reassure her. When I said that to her, the older woman should say, yeah, you are doing good. She didn't even say anything because I think it shamed her, because you're the one that's supposed to be encouraging her, not me. You're the one that's supposed to be making her feel confident, okay? And you're not, because you're mad because I guess you're mad that you work here. I guess you're mad about how your life turned out. I guess you're mad that you got to train her and get your work done, and you're miserable. But don't take it out on her. She's just new. They always do that to new people. They know the new person is kind of on edge. It's a new job. They want to do well, and they take advantage of you at your weakest point. Usually when you're new, you're not at your weakest point, but when you're new, you're just in a position where you're not higher up in a company yet, so you're kind of on eggshells. You want to see if this is a good fit, and you might hold your tongue a little bit more than usual, and you're trying to learn everything. And people get annoyed when they show you something once or twice, and like if you forget, they make it seem like you're stupid because you don't remember it. But you showed me this only once or twice. Okay, they get very agitated, and then when you check them, then they get scared. Okay, so I looked at her. I said, "You're doing good." I said, "Keep up the good work." And she said, "Oh, thank you." She said, she didn't really say much back, but I said, "You're doing good." And then I said, "Well, you have a great day," when she was done ringing me up. And she said, "Well, I planned on it and all that." And I said, "You will." And I just looked at the older woman. I didn't even say nothing to her because she's trash. I deal with those kind of women all the time at these jobs, okay, and men too. It ain't just women that act like this, but it's just when they're trained. I don't understand why trainers have to be so rude and condescending. And I understand that you're mad that you got to get your work done and train them, and you want to make sure you're training them right, but I think they're just miserable. They don't want to train you. They don't want to do it, so now they have an attitude. So they like to talk. I know a guy that I was dating. I remember he was getting trained by this one guy who did not want to train him. It was another black guy, and he got mad they paired because that guy was black, and then the guy who trained him was black. And I think he said they paired him up with the black guy because they figured they would have more in common. But he said they did not get along at all. The dude then he said, for example, when they would take a break, they're going to break room. The trainer, just get up and walk out and go back and start working. He wouldn't alert him saying, "Oh, break is over," nothing. Just he heard the trainer talking to another co-worker, and the co-worker said, "Oh, I said you got some help." He said, "Not help, more like a liability." They talk trash about you behind your back and in your face. So let me tell you what happened to me. Remember this one job I had, and this was downtown. This job dealt with insurance, and it had about, oh my god, like 22 floors. It had about 22 floors, so a lot of people worked there, okay, and probably even more than that. It was a lot of cubicles, very open environment. So long story short, I don't know how to explain it, but we had to do applications. It's a long story. I'm not going to get into it, but we had to do applications, and they would take a really long time. So they had this overweight white girl train me, and she trained me good. She was nice when she was training me, but what happened was we were short staffed, and she had to get her work done, and then she had to look over my work. So she was annoyed. I understand why she was annoyed, but don't take that out on me. You know what I mean? So I emailed her and said, "Will she look over my work?" Because my boss told me to ask her to look over my work, and she said yes, but she didn't. She was mad. I could tell she was mad she had to do it. So she looked over my work twice. So she looked over two of my applications. The first application, of course, I had errors, and then the second one I had less errors. So let me tell you what she did, y'all. So mind you, it's a girl sitting next to me, it's two people behind me, it's people on the other side of the cubicle wall, and it's an open environment, no doors. Everyone can hear the conversation. So she walks anyway, she walks over to me and she said, "Yeah, I went over your first application, and I went over your second one." She said the first one, she said you had a lot of errors. She said you had a sticky note back and forth full of errors. And she said in the second application, you had errors. You had just a half a sticky note full of errors. So you all know the sticky note, little small sticky note. She's saying the first application I had errors that she wrote down a sticky note, and she wrote it on the front of the sticky note and on the back. And then she's saying my second application had less errors, but I still had errors, and that one, and the errors that I had only filled maybe half of the front of the small sticky note, which was not a lot of errors. I said, so this time, I said, before I had errors that consisted of the front and the back of a sticky note, and now I only have errors that consist of a half a sticky note. I said, I'm doing good. I'm improving. I'm doing real good. And she got quiet, y'all. You want to front me off? Let's go. Let's go, white trash. Let's go, Roseanne. Let's go, overweight marshmallow. Let's go. Let's do it. Okay, because you can never front me, baby. I have a slick tongue. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, and she said it loud. So she wanted everyone to know that I had errors, but what she didn't understand was, ma'am, you're not making me look stupid, because everyone knows that I'm new, and you just said the first application I had more errors, and then when I did the second application I improved and I have less errors. But you yelling, I mean, y'all, she was talking loud, saying you had this error, you did this wrong, saying it loud. I was pissed. But like I said, I flipped it on her because she made an error by saying, oh, well, she said, oh, you only have half of a sticky note full of errors this time, but last time you had a sticky note back and forth full of errors. I said, oh, so this time I only have half of a sticky note full of errors, so that means I improved. And then the girl next to me, I looked at her, I said, that means I improved. Oh, that's good. And I said it real loud, and then she just got quiet and looked. No. Once you come to the gym with me, I can help you improve on some things too. I'm improving on my application. Let me help you improve on your weight. And get a tan while you at it. So anyway, she was talking so loud that when she finally walked off, it was another really, really overweight white woman that was sitting behind the wall. It was the cubicles, they were open, and it was a wall with other cubicles, and she heard her, and then she emailed me. I think she even said it loud. She said, well, oh, Cheyenne, she was telling me how to improve something that the girl loudly said that I made an error about. So anyway, look, I've been fronted off, and I get back with them. Sometimes I get in the gutter with them. Sometimes I just get sarcastic back with them, just as loud. Like, you don't see, y'all, I'm past that phase of letting things pass. Like, I'm not letting anything pass. Like, you can't let everything get on your skin, but you also can't let certain things pass. Okay, and ain't nobody getting any more passes from me. So like, she wanted to get loud and talk loud about my errors, and I let her know, oh, so you trying to front me off, but it's not working because you just said to everybody I improve, and they know I'm new, so I'm improving, idiot. Okay, improve your weight the way I'm improving on these applications. So yeah, it just made me mad back to the cashier. It just made me upset it made me very upset how that lady was treating her. It hit a nerve because I've known so many people who would tell me about how their trainer was mean to them, was being condescending, fronted them off in front of other co-workers, talked to them kind of, in a rude way, make them feel stupid. And I don't know why people do this. Okay, if you don't like that you have to train, then get you a different job. But see, this is my issue with people. They want to be rude, they want to have bad customer service, they want to train and have a funky attitude with you and make it sound like you're stupid, and just they kind of take advantage of the fact that you're new and they're training you. They feel they have an upper hand over you, so they give you a hard time, I feel. But if I was to take that job from them, they would be begging for their job back. I was gonna say something really rude, but I'm not gonna be rude. I'm just gonna say they would be begging for their job back. So I just want to tell these people who are rude, have bad customer service at their job. I want to tell these people who are trainers and they want to be rude when they're training you. I want them to know that you gotta appreciate what you got. Okay, because it could be taken from you. Just understand that. Okay, and understand you was on. What makes me mad too is that at one time they were new, right? Think about it. They were new at one time and they had to get trained, and they know how a person feels when they first start a job. They're kind of on edge. They want to do right. They don't want to get fired. They want to catch on quickly. So it's a lot of pressure, and like, they know that. But see, they're past that phase. They're not excited about having a new job. They have been working there for a while, and they might have a high turnover rate, so they're tired of training. Now, my thing is with them, if you have a job where you have a high turnover rate, you have to keep training new people so you don't feel like being bothered. If you be nice to this person and train them correctly, If you was to do that, they might stay idiot to where you won't have to keep training new people. But if you're rude to people you're training, they probably will quit because you're making them feel stupid for making a mistake. I remember this one job I had. They literally gave us 2 hours of training and just threw us to the wolves. Okay, and the lady, she was a older white lady, and she was really nice to me. I kind of handpicked her. I had an option of going with a different trainer, but I said no, I want her. I just got a good vibe from her. And she told me if I had any questions about anything, ask her. And you know what she told me? It was another lady. Okay, so another older white lady trained her, and she said the lady that trained me, she said she was so rude to me. And she said, I remember after she trained me, a couple of days later, I had a question, and I asked her, she said, I said to her, I have a question. She said, a question about what? And she said, the lady just kind of looked at her and rolled her eyes. And she said, oh my God, I just had a question. And she said, I don't want you to feel the way she made me feel. She said, so anytime you have a question, you come ask me. And her name was, I think, Jennifer. And I would never forget her because she was so nice to me. And I know how she felt because I've been in that situation where you are new and your trainer is just a jerk, and they just are so evil, and you're just like, look, I get it, you don't want to be here anymore, but don't take that out on me because I'm gonna take it back out on you. Okay, and you don't want no smoke from me. Okay, so let's be professional. Show me what I need to know, and then it is what it is. But I'm tired of it, and seeing this girl going through that, and the girl, the cashier, she kept her spirits up. But I looked at her in her eye and I said, "You're doing good. You're doing good." And she didn't really say much back when I said that because she probably knew where I was coming from. And an older woman, when I said it, she just got kind of quiet because she knew where I was coming from too. You're supposed to be encouraging her, not being condescending. It's nobody's fault that you're miserable. It's nobody's fault that you took this job. Okay, go back to school for something, start your own business or get a life. But what you're not going to do is take advantage of the fact this person's new and try to belittle them and make them feel small.